To Light Laughter and Lattes. My name is Geri Habstritt, and my co-host, Patty Peterson, are here and glad to be here with you all. It has been a little while. I've been off in Ecuador at the consecration of the Pyramid of Peace, and Patty has been busy as well. So we've missed doing this all. We might be a little rusty. We'll see what happens. If you are here and listening in, jump in the chat and say hi. It's always awesome to know who's out there and who's listening. And call line is also open today. So if you would like to call in and be a part of the conversation, you're welcome to do that as well. And I'll just put the call number up on the bottom in case you want to call in. There you go, 517-208-1500. And welcome everybody on Oneness Talk Radio, Facebook, and YouTube. And later, if you're catching this via podcast, welcome. Glad you're listening. Today seems to be a timely topic with a lot of people, particularly females, but it's not just female, it's anyone who's on the path of becoming more of their truth or more of who they came here to be. And it's not an easy task. This is something both Patty and I have been working on for a good 14 years. And it's a constant challenge. It seems like it should be so easy just to be who you are, right? Shouldn't it be just easy to be who you are? Well, why is it so hard? So we're going to talk a little bit about this and hopefully inspire some conversation and help you all out a little bit as well by discussing some of the things that we have gone through or that we've seen and what's helped us. So Patty, I'll let you jump in because this topic was your idea today.
Yes, I like to really pay attention, as Geri also in her world, what's showing up in our life, in our service work, in our personal life around us. And do we start seeing themes? Are there certain themes? And I was sharing with Geri how between my clients in my healing space and the workshop I've done and things, and it's mostly been women who are choosing to do this work with me. However, there are definitely men, and sometimes, they'll come into my space here, but I tend to attract women. And there's certain themes that are showing up with these women, and obviously a reflection in me, of deeper layers of the collective divine feminine at this time now. What old dogmas, soul fragments, past beliefs are ready to leave to be, as Geri mentioned, our truth as a divine feminine at this time.
Yeah. It's, I guess I keep thinking back, all of us that are here at this time now are masters. And I know many of us, probably especially those listening to this show, have been here on this earth planet many, 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 many times, whether you remember it or not. And there's been starting with Jesus' attack on truth, right? I mean, he's not the only one, right? And you think about the Salem witch trials, right?
Mm-hmm.
Attack on truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure there's a lot of cellular memory there that is at the core of us from many lifetimes of just trying to get there and having experiences of us being ourselves, and it didn't go so well.
Exactly. There were long periods of time, especially, with the patriarchy, that if you were feminine and you did something as simple as help somebody birth a baby, you could be killed because you were practicing medicine and only men could practice medicine. If you were to make a herbal poultice, again, there's all these instances where we in the past have been taken out. And some of that remnant is what I'm seeing can lie in some of our tissues. And yet in today's energy, they can unwind very quickly, which is exciting. And so I'm seeing certain themes, Geri, in certain chakras, like just I'm saying in these last couple months, okay, with the energies we're in right now. And how about you? Are there any certain chakras that you're noticing are speaking a little more loudly for clearing, aligning, and being in our truth?
Oh, absolutely. So the third would be probably the biggest, the third and the fifth, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And the third being the solar plexus, and that is our power center.
Mm-hmm.
And that is our center where we know what to do in the world and step out and do it in our power, which then brings us joy. But if your power center and your truth is about going out in the world and being a healer, being someone who's working in the quantum energy that's not totally accepted, it can be a challenge. Or even if you're, it could be as simple as you being an artist, but being told by those around you that you're never going to make a living being an artist, right? So how can I go out in the world and trust myself to really be this artist that I know that I am and still support myself when everyone else says I can't? And it's, not a reasonable choice for a business to support yourself.
Really?
Right.
And if we believe that more than our own knowing,
Right.
you're not trusting your soul, that solar plexus, and then swallowing somebody else's truth, right?
Exactly.
And then each of us came into a lineage that we chose on our soul level. And within that lineage, we could also have very certain themes through, especially maybe the divine feminine, through the feminine. And those two can tie into some of that, whether we trust that, our decisions and choices, or how is a woman to be seen.
Mhm.
And if we didn't feel safe, I know there's a pretty high percentage that have suffered some form of sexual abuse.
Mhm.
And I know that one. And and when we did that, when those things happened to us, we often left our body because it was, that was the only way we could feel safe.
Right.
And so that ties into now. Are we really safe to trust, to be in that truth and be in the body? So retracing some of these aspects of the collective divine feminine, the lineage, and then our own journey. I see
Right.
pieces of all of that coming in.
Sure. It's a huge undertaking because, everything in the outer world mostly is reflecting an opposite of the truth. Right? 9 to
Yes.
5 working ourselves to death, doing
Yes.
jobs for money.
Yes.
It,
And that's our work in the world, the third chakra, a lot too.
Right.
What's going on there is a lot about our work in the world. And are we claiming our gifts, skills, and talents to serve in some way?
Right. And it's the digestive system. So many people are having issues there. Well, if it's about your joy and your work in the world, that explains a lot. And so
Right.
we're having to go out into a world where what we do is a little bit woo-woo, right? And be the truth of who we are that is really going against everything else. And I'm going to share a little story because I think it's kind of funny. So I just got back from Tosa Blue Mountain, Ecuador, and we just consecrated this magnificent pyramid of peace. And I came back all excited. And I go to I was substitute teaching a few days after at a junior high school. And I walk to the room where I collect my information on the room I'm going to go to. And the gal that works there, she loves me, and she was so excited to see me back again. And there was a couple of teachers standing around. They were all excited that I'm back again. I get a substitute teach. And they're standing in a circle, and they're like, "What did you do in Ecuador?" I'm like, we consecrated a pyramid. They're like, "What?" Yeah, we built a pyramid in 99 days. And energetically, this is what it does. And if you put formula in it, and flowers will grow around it that haven't grown forever. And they've charged salt in it. And if you bring it to the prison cells, it'll help the, prisoners. And I went on and on about all the statistics. And wouldn't it be great to have one here out in the yard at the school to bring peace to the teachers and bring peace to the, and I'm all excited just like this, sharing, bits and pieces about this and what I'm doing. And they all kind of stood a little stone faced. They're like, do you have pictures? I'm like, yes, maybe I could put a big slideshow together and come and show everyone. And they're like, whoa, wait a minute. You're going to have to take it slow. We're from Idaho. They said, we'll be your test group first. Come and show us. And I have to laugh because all I'm talking about is a pyramid. I mean, these things have been around in countries forever, right?
Right.
And still, this was about more than they could handle.
Yeah. Oh.
And
but
so,
that's beautiful. They saw your enthusiasm, your belief, your truth, your trust. I love it, and for us not to take personally when people don't get it, run the other direction, whatever, right? Just not take it personally.
But it's so adorable because it looks on their faces like, you got to take it slow. We're from Idaho.
Deer in the headlights kind of like.
We'll be your little test group. If we don't die, then you can show more people.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. I've been sharing more with my clients too about, the pyramid energy, and they've been seeing it in my office through, the ones back here. I've got the 9-inch and mini and the serpentine, and yet many are saying, great, when can I get one? So how fantastic is that? Get this in more of the backyards and in our homes.
Exactly.
That will definitely. Yeah. I hear you.
Well, after I finished my little story, I thought to myself, I better not tell them or show them my tattoo. So I did a thing that I swore I would never do. I'd said for years, I will never, ever, ever, ever get a tattoo. I am not a whiteboard. And that's just been something for me. I'm not big on lots of jewelry. I like freedom. And for me, freedom is, light cotton clothes, not a lot of jewelry, no earrings, none of that. And I can just write. And so tattoos was a big no for me. Unless I had one exception. Unless I could get a tattoo, unless I was shown the essence of my soul in a symbol. Whoops. Forgot to shut my phone off.
As she says the essence of her soul, her phone rings.
Yes. Her phone rings. Unless I can see the essence of my soul in a symbol, that is something I would tattoo on me. Because that's the truth of me. It'll never change. I'll never tire of it. And that's the only thing. So I put up in big letters across my bedroom wall, show me my soul symbol. And didn't see it. So I sent a message to my teacher who does channeling and asked, is this something you can do? Is this something you would do? And, what would you charge for this? And she came back and said, I saw it immediately. And absolutely, it's like right there. And I'm like, okay. So she was able to put it in a graphic form, and I gave it to the tattoo artist and put it on my arm. It's sacred geometry.
Yes. Okay.
Which makes me laugh because geometry was the only class that I failed in high school. I could not do it for the life of me. I went to the counselor and said, my mind just does not work this way. And he said, you're right. And he let me out of the class. And I got all A's and B's in high school. And I look at it and other people got theirs too. And mine is the only one that's sacred geometry. And I'm like, how can this be?
But it's beautiful. It's colorful. There's an essence there for sure.
Yeah. And it does say across the top, I am love. And it's hard to see that. So I put that too. But what I wasn't prepared for is when that got put on me, my body took an integrate. That's claiming the truth of you and stamping it on you. And
Mhm.
my body went through a full transformation process trying to receive this energy. And the first reflection that it put out into the world was like literally the day afterwards, I got a fraud message from Capital One. Did you purchase a $1,600 airplane ticket on Spirit Airlines? So I'm going to break this down because it's funny. I'm like, no, I didn't. And so like, okay, we have to shut down your card and send you a new one. So basically I'm a fraud. I'm saying that this is me, but my body's like, not quite yet. I'm not sure if I'm fully accepting this yet.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the funny part it was that it's, an airline, which is about freedom, and Spirit Airlines, not United or
That's
American.
perfect.
So immediately it triggered that kind of a response. And also as I went on for the rest of the journey, of course, that's now an intention that's permanently inside of me that is now at the front of everything as far as
Mhm.
having to claim my truth because, I said, here it is. So kind of fun. So I didn't show the school that yet. I'm like, I'm just going to keep my shirt on here. We're wearing sleeves for a while until I get used to this.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing. And you mentioned something that we can know something for a while. Even when we talk a lot about self-love, right, Jer? I mean, we've talked about this for a long time. We've done shows and there's things we can know, but until we really embody, that's a whole new level to integrate and embody. And that's an ever evolving, I think. I mean, especially at this time on the planet with the higher
Mhm.
consciousness that we're choosing.
Right.
And so what does that for each of us to feel safe in our truth as a divine feminine, whether you're masculine or not, but that's
Mhm.
what I'm seeing a lot in my practice because we were so long in the patriarchy and the divine feminine's been rising and it's been a little wobbly yet, and we're
Right.
now anchoring, and that is what I'm seeing. This,
Yeah.
let's unwind some of these remnants of the old traumas, the old soul fractures, the old stories. And even there, what are the stories we tell ourselves or we repeat? We see
Mhm.
that a lot, right? I'm this, I'm that,
Absolutely.
depending on how, like what we were told when we were young. I
Absolutely.
know in my family, I may have shared this part as far as I wondered why one of the reasons it was hard for me to speak up and feel safe speak up about what I do even or promote myself. And all I kept hearing was some of my ancestors saying, you're being vain. You don't talk about yourself. You're being vain.
Right.
And so can we take that, and look a little deeper at what might be there, some of those unconscious beliefs that we have, because a high percentage of our beliefs are unconscious, but they're
Mhm.
being revealed to us if we're ready to awaken and open to look and be aware.
Right, right. It was a huge theme with the group that all came together at Tulsa Blue
Mm-hmm.
Mountain. Many of us sat around the table and talked about, boy, did I have strep throat a lot when I was young, boy, did I. And it's a huge theme with light workers especially,
Yes,
and especially the feminine energy because it has been so suppressed for so long
exactly.
to overcome the feminine energy. And man, if you are of color, or add something else onto the top of it, wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To be able to
Yeah.
stand up and out and feel comfortable with who you are and speak it with not feeling like you're going to be called a bitch or a witch or
Yes. Yes.
any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah,
I've been
it's
called
not
that in this
easy.
lifetime, and that was hard at first. What? Now I can
Yeah.
laugh. Oh wow, that's and some people have in their regressions of their life, have seen that, lifetimes where they were hung up or whatever for being that. And even I had one lifetime where I that I saw was I was so beautiful, men were enamored, So then they put you away, because they thought you were bewitching them. And then likewise, the next lifetime showed me where I had all these deformities and I was separated and put off somewhere else. So these pieces coming in forward now to claim the beauty we are and that we're safe to be seen, heard. Yes. And that's one of the chakras. When I asked you about the chakras, you mentioned the solar plexus is a big one. Absolutely.
Right.
And then I'm also seeing the cradle of the creation, our womb, our sacral chakra has been a big one that many people too, there's a whole thing around the sexuality where we may have beliefs and hindrances that's been unwinding now to be in the body more, enjoying the form without a lot of the old beliefs and dogmas and savoring who you are.
Right. Well, and at the core of all of it is the first chakra.
True.
If the first chakra,
Absolutely.
if you do not feel safe to be seen in the truth of who you are, you will not even go beyond there, because that's where you're shutting off the life force energy right there.
Exactly. The root. Yep. The whole structure, the support of, am I safe in my skin?
Right.
And that's where it feels like so some of the people, the women I'm working with, as they're unwinding these old fragments, they're settling deeper into that root. Our soul essence, our energies in the body to then lift and be in this divine galactic blueprint. And it's been beautiful.
Right.
So
yeah, and I've found that I can expand in the truth of me a lot easier, and this is probably common sense, but if you go and hang around people who are similar to you, if you hang around, for example, this past weekend, the church had a festival, our church, it's called Center for Spiritual Living. And they had a fall festival. There was live music, dancing, vegetarian chili, which is key for me. If anyone is even conscious enough to have a vegetarian chili, I'm already feeling safer.
Yeah,
because I'm not the one person in the line that needs to eat a different diet. Right?
Yeah.
And then in the lobby, there's going to be tarot card readings, Reiki, and I'm like, yes, that's my kind of church, right? So I can go there and freely talk about what I want. I can freely dress the way I want. I can freely, get up and dance in the middle of service or whatever we're doing. And I feel very, very safe and comfortable doing that.
Great point.
Right. And to make sure you take the time to seek out those kind of things.
That's
and
it.
even if you think that they are a little, I know there's times where I've maybe judged a group thinking, oh, they're just at the beginning of their journey. And I've been working at it for a long time. Will I be bored there? Will I not have anything to add to it because I'm in a different place than them? And it's like, no, just going and being around that is helpful for the first chakra to feel stable.
Yes.
Just surrounding your, what?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. That is such an important piece to remind people. Are we calling in? Are we stepping outside our old spaces to be in places where we are supported and can be who we are now? That may be a little different in 2 weeks, but at any point, who supports me really being me? And often at first, it's not our family of origin, because that's another whole story and show. But right. So that's, I love that you share that and that you have that. And may we all call that in. And because that can change as we shift and be more of our truth. We'll see some people fall away. Can we trust we will attract those that are in alignment?
Right. And I found too at times that, a group might be having an event and I'm thinking, they do things like me and I might be having these judgments, but like, no, I'm going to trust that it showed up right now because I'm needing this. So I'll go to it, and it's because I'm getting ready for an expansion, and that first chakra needs to feel safe in order to allow that expansion.
Yes.
So I'll go there and I'll get that feeling of safety. Then the first chakra is able to relax. I'll go through an expansionary period. And then maybe I'm not so drawn to go back to that group again.
Right.
But I needed
Exactly.
it at that moment
Yes.
for what I was
Yes.
going through.
Yes. And we'll talk about this sometime, because the men that I date, the ones that are often feel that real safety, are often a 4. Their name is a 4 in ascendant numerology, which is that root chakra, which is, more balance. And they just, oh no, I feel more safe here, So noticing all these in our environment.
Well, do you remember when I first moved to Boise, Patty? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why is it all security guards asking me out? Or why are they Navy SEALs? It's always people that are.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the awareness then is that I needed that energy
That we would
of
now.
safety,
Yeah.
right?
And those experiences came forward for our learning in our group. Oh, I want to take a moment and look at our chat here. And thank you, Angela, for sharing about that you too, with the voice. Interesting. Okay. Many of us light workers truly had a lot around our throat. Like Geri said, strep throats. I had to have my tonsils out because there was always oozing pus.
Well, Patty, it looks like we have a caller here as well.
Okay.
Matthew Peterson.
Okay.
Let's see.
I don't know one in my crew with the last name.
Let me see. 5 minutes ago. We'll see. Hello.
Thank you for sharing, Bea.
Hello. Is there a Matthew here? Or someone from Covina, California? Or maybe they were here a while ago and not here anymore, but it looks like
I'm so
they're
sorry.
on the
My
line.
intuition was saying, let's check the line a little bit ago, and I didn't.
Okay, well, maybe not anymore. All right.
You are now a host. You are now a host.
I am.
All right.
Oh. And I like how Bea is sharing. She was worried about eating vegan, and her dear husband is supporting her by making breakfast, surprising you. That is so beautiful that he is doing that for you, and you're receiving him, showing his love in that way. And highest good for both of you.
Absolutely.
Shall we end with card reading each of us and see what we're meant to hear today?
We can.
Anything
sure
else you want to share about this, Geri? Talk? Any other stories that you had? She's a good storyteller.
There's always stories.
Oh.
That's what makes life fun, isn't it? The good stories.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Yes, it is.
I don't know that I have any more. Just that I can share that after returning and claiming more of that truth energy, through the tattoo, and then the intention went further with the San Pedro journey, and then getting that support from the San Pedro to actually clear the energy in the solar plexus, which is, fear of your power, fear of walking out in the world and being the truth of who you are, right? That stopping energy. I don't know if I dare do this, right? And lovely San Pedro cleared that for me. And as the energy was coming up and I felt like I was going to puke as it's coming through that, area of digestion, right?
Right.
Moving through there. And when I got home, it was so easy for me to just go out into the world and really be me and not care.
Yes.
And man, does that feel good?
Yes.
If I can just say, wow, that feels so good to really, really not care. And it inspires other people to do the same. Because I can share there was a number of people after I claimed this who said, well, okay, then me too, and pretty soon everyone wanted to do that. But it took someone going first for the others to feel safe and like it was okay, and it's the same thing for other things. The more of us that are out there being the
Mhm.
truth of who we are,
Mhm.
wearing what we want, acting the way we want, speaking from our hearts, the more
Singing our
other
soul
people.
song. Yep.
Right. The more other people will feel safe because there'll be you won't be different anymore. And I don't know if I've shared on this show before, but I took a trip last year to Bali for like 2 weeks, and the place is filled with temples everywhere, which totally speaks to me. You can get massages for really cheap. You can take care of your body, your physical form, very affordably. Healthy food everywhere. I mean, the waiters and waitresses and even the chefs are knowledgeable on turmeric and ginger and what all these different spices do for the physical body. I went into a restaurant that was like the herb library, where you can literally order meals based on, I've got a headache,
Yes.
I've got a
Yeah.
stomach ache,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And so as I'm walking around seeing temples everywhere, and yoga is known there, it's just something everyone walks around with the yoga mat. And what was the other thing? Oh, when I went to go get my COVID test before I left, they had a sign on their hospital saying pranic breathing available.
Wow.
And I felt so comfortable and so at home there. For the first time ever, I was not an anomaly. I
Mhm.
fit in.
Mhm.
And the amount of expansion work and healing I could do in that situation was huge, just because my body felt so safe. It was like,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So, maybe take a look. Do you need to take a vacation somewhere to find that
Mhm.
place? Do you need
Mhm.
to seek out friends who are more like you, or seek out more things? Find those ways to help that body feel safe. And then when it does, you will be amazed at the amount of expansionary work you can do.
Yes. Yes. Really support the body of form, reminding yourself, I'm safe, and find the ways, call those in. Vital, vital.
Yep. Let me grab
Okay.
one more.
All right. The card I drew, I'll start with that. And there is from the I Am Guided, I got birth.
Birth.
I think that came before. And birth says, out of the womb and into the world you have come. Whether this experience is painful or joyful, you are being called to acknowledge the joy of being here now. If pain is present in your life or those around you in any form, emotional, physical, spiritual, etc., then know that it is your time to transcend it. Pain will cease when you acknowledge the gift it is offering you. Birth yourself through this experience. Ask the pain what it is teaching you. As you learn through this birthing process, the joy that is your truth will come forward. Your newborn beingness is ready to enter the world as the gift that you were born to be, as Geri just modeled and shared.
Well, I love the birth card. And of course, 2022 is at 6, which is all about birth. So very fitting. So
Mhm.
everyone watching or listening, whenever you watch or listening, you're going through a rebirth right now. Yay, celebrate. They're fun. Okay, I got the Self-Ascension 7 card, authenticity.
Mhm.
Freedom cannot be granted to you by a government, a country, a friend, or a relative. Freedom can only be found when you accept the truth of yourself without doubt or fear. True leadership is a benevolent energy that enhances the good of the whole as a priority. This priority comes without egoism, interfering, or seizing
Mhm.
priority. To wear a crown as a symbol of your authentic expression of light in body is a gift that opens the doorway to your infinite expression as love in action. The time is now for you to accept the crown of authenticity, go beyond the limits of this world, and soar with the eagles. You are free, and it is your time.
Both of those are so perfect. And there's a
I, Go ahead.
uh-huh. I have
I,
a short one here too that's perfect that I pulled. An
okay,
elfin quest.
go for it.
Okay, and this one just says, The concepts of labor and leisure become one when we live from the heart. Pouring our passion and our joy into our actions, the concept of work fades away.
Yeah, we got a huge theme here, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, it was great, everyone. I hope you all have a fabulous week. And before we come together again, we'll have gone through a full vision moon on the 9th.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
this weekend. Okay?
Yes.
Sunday? Yes.
Sunday the 9th is a full vision moon. So,
Ooh, my baby daughter's birthday. Wow.
Wow,
no
full
better.
vision moon. So
Yeah.
I think there's some visioning to be had for all of us. Yep, good
Oh,
time to
doesn't that feel
probably
fun? I'm feeling that in the sacral,
Sacral?
all this tingling in the creation center. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be a fabulous day to take out markers, colors, whatever paints, and start painting your future, again, or adding to what you've already painted.
Yes, and here in my area, the colors are extraordinary right now. We're at peak, and I just can't get enough. It's like I'm immersing in all those colors, knowing the colors are helping, in the body too, dancing and being one with the trees, and it's glorious. So
Yeah, it's the first 3 chakras in the fall: red, orange, yellow, right?
Yes.
Supportive for the body.
Yeah, really, really savoring that. And so whatever you choose, may it be fun, following your truth.
Absolutely. Okay, everyone, have a fabulous week.